Today I'm going to explain you about Agile methodology, and after that we will build a small Spring Boot application using Spring Initializer. So coming to the Agile methodology, Agile is nothing but a software development method. For example, if we have to create a website, we have to plan for the website to be developed, like we have testing, designing, developing. All this planning should be done before creating the project to avoid problems in the future. So to plan such thing, we use Agile method. Like we have many other models like waterfall and spiral, but we use Agile because Agile is very effective. So basically, Agile works on small steps called sprints. Sprints are nothing but a period of time where we will develop some features of the project. So sprints have specific goal. For example, if a project has 20 features to develop and want to complete within 2 months, and each sprint is of 2 weeks. For every sprint, 3 features should be developed, and there will be sprint meetings to discuss about everything that is happening in the project. And the work that you do in these 2 weeks is considered as one sprint. Sprint is managed by multiple members. For example, the first one is product owner. So the work of the product owner, he is a decision maker. He decides what needs to be built, and he prioritizes the items for the sprint. Like he prioritizes the work that is to be done in an order, and he reviews the work. And the second one is scrum master. His work is to ensure whether the sprint is running smooth or not. He removes obstacles like delays or team issues. He guides the team members to do the work properly. He also conducts daily meetings. And the third is the team. They are the developers. They develop the code and they develop the features. They test and fix bugs or issues. They collaborate in daily meetings and deliver the work by the end of the sprint. So, Scrum Master conducts daily stand up meetings, which is also called as a 24-hour sprint. Um, Here, all the people will be discussed about what the work is done for one day, and after the work is done, sprint review will be happening. Sprint review is which is nothing but analyzing the work done in that particular sprint. And coming to retrospective, uh, it is nothing but reviewing the final work done in the sprint. The team uh, the discussions about what went well and what needs to be improved will be happening in the sprint retrospective meeting. So, Agile method and Spring Boot framework work well because they both use rapid development and iterative model. So, let's create a Spring Boot application using Spring Initializer in the Spring STS. So, to create a before creating the Spring application, first let us know something about Spring. Spring is a Java framework used for creating large enterprises. So, for creating, compared to Java, Spring has less number of code and it is very effective. So, let us create a basic Spring Boot application with Spring Initializer. So, firstly, let us open Chrome. After opening the Chrome, this is the interface, and we have to quick start. And after clicking on the quick start, this will be the interface, and they have given the steps to create the Spring Boot project. So what they have mentioned in the step 1 is use start.spring.io to create a web project. Let us click on the start.spring.io. So this is the Spring Initializer where we can create a basic Spring Boot application. And today I'm going to create a Maven project with Java language, and I'm going to use this version of Spring Boot 3.4.2, and all these items will be by default. We can change the name if we want. Spring Boot. I've given the name as Spring Boot, and in the dependencies I'm gonna add Spring Web. So let us discuss something about dependencies. Why do we add dependencies? Because in Spring STS, as I said, code will be readily available for use. To access those external libraries, we use dependencies. All the code that is uh, inside those libraries will be stored as jar files in pom.xml file. So since we are going to create a web application, we have used Spring Web, and if we don't add dependencies, problem might occur. Like we have to do the configuration manually, that is we have to manually configure database connections, securities and web servers, which is very difficult. So we just use dependencies because we'll readily get the code. So I'm clicking on generate. A zip file will be generated. I'm going to files, and I'm gonna extract this. This is the extracted file. Here we can see all the files. This is pom.xml file which will have the code inbuilt. This code will be used in the used while creating the web application. So here we are gonna copy this path, and let's go to Spring STS tool suite. I'm launching the workspace. It's taking a lot of time. So this is how the interface of Spring STS will be. Here is some code I've done before, and to do the simple web application, I'm gonna go to file. Since there is already the existing project Maven project file we have created, I'm gonna import and click on existing Maven project. I'm gonna paste the path that I've copied. I'm gonna enter, and after entering, so Spring Boot pom XML file, the jar file will be visible here. So I'm clicking on finish. So the code that was in pom.xml file is this. We haven't written anything, but all the code is here. We have a package, we have a class, we have a method. So in this package, I'm gonna create another class. I'm gonna click on new class. I'm gonna name it as demo controller. Oh, class name should be, first letter should be capital, demo controller. And this package I'm gonna name it as dot controller. I'm gonna click on finish. So another class has been created. So the next step is, the second step is add your code. They have taken in the same class, they have taken this code, but I have created separate class. And I'm gonna take this annotation, I'm gonna copy this annotation, control C, and I'm gonna paste it in Spring STS. So here I'm getting an error, that is, I have to import REST controller frame, REST controller. So for importing we use control shift plus O. So importing has been done for this REST controller annotation. So the next step is, I'm gonna copy this method, control C, and I'm gonna paste it in this class, control V. Here I'm getting some other error. These are also annotations, but I haven't imported anything. So for importing those annotations, I am going to click control shift O. So all these annotations have been imported. So here I'm getting an error, so we need another curly brace. And the coding part has done. So what they are saying, let's build and run the program. We have built the program, but we have to run this program. So to run, we'll go to Spring Boot, right click, run as. Since we have created Maven project, we'll use Maven build. So in the goals, we are gonna write a command, clean spring hyphen boot, spring hyphen boot colon run. We can use only this, but while running, first cleaning the package or cleaning the project is better. So we are going to combine both commands, and we are going to run. First we have to save, and then the project is running. The jar file has been created here, a default jar file has been created. And yeah, Tomcat started on port 8080. So the spring is the project is ready for execution. So to check whether the project, we are going to call this. To call this, we will write http colon double slash local host colon 8080 colon hello slash hello. Let's run this. Hello world. See, I've got hello world. So how this has happened? We have used REST API. This REST API is responsible for calling this parameter. So in Spring, slash something is nothing but to call that method, to call this method. So REST API is responsible for calling hello. We have to write like this to call this method. So I've got hello world, and this is the basic Spring Boot application. And we can create another class in demo controller. Next, new another class. Let us take calculator TROLLER. The first name is capital C. Dot controller package finish. So here I got another class. So I'm gonna terminate this. So we are gonna create a calculator program. First we are going to take rest controller annotation, control C, and we are gonna paste it here, and we are gonna take a method. Control we get mapping, and since we are building a calculator, we are going to use request mapping annotation, control shift O, and so for calculator controller I've done this before, so I'm gonna copy this code, control C, and I'm gonna, oh shit, Spring is not responding. For calculator controller I already have the code. I'm just gonna copy this and paste here. So we'll talk about this post method later. Firstly we'll do this. So this is the code for addition, subtraction and multiplication. That's it. And now so it is showing a warning to, since this post mapping annotation is not used, so we can remove that, and the warning is gone. And now I'm going to run this, run as maven build. To run this in the goals I'm gonna write clean spring boot colon run. So first I'm gonna save this. So in the console we can see that the spring application has started executing. It used Tomcat 8080 port. We can call this. If we terminate now, we cannot be able to see the output in the web browser. Let me show you. Here slash calculator, for calling the parameters we have to give question mark. A is equal to 10. To separate both parameters where we have to use AND operator, and B is equal to 5. I got an error, so I'm gonna check it here. I don't know why we got an error. Yeah, here we have called only calculator method, but we haven't called add method. That's why we got an error. Again I'm going to run the application. clean spring boot colon run. So it has started executing. Tomcat has started. So I'm gonna go here. Yeah, calculator. Calculator CLCULATO or add A and B. This application has no explicit if you're seeing as a fallback equal to maybe you should give some space. I've still got error. Okay, here also I have this method calculator, maybe that's why. So I'm gonna change calculator 1 control S and I'm gonna terminate this, because if we don't terminate it will give a build failure. Again I'm going to run this. Clean spring boot colon run. So it has started executing. It gave us jar file. So here Tomcat started on port 8080. So let us check here. Calculator 1. I still got error. I don't know why. Here I have given number 1 and number 2, and here I have given A and B. Maybe that is why. So number 1 equal to 5 and number 2 equal to 10. Again I've got error. Let me do once more. Add number 1 equal to number 2 equal to, yeah, finally I've got 15. I can change here also. Let me give 20 and number 2 will be 10. Yeah, I've got 30. So let us add a post method. Here we have taken get. Let us take a post method. Since I have already done calculator controller, so I'll take this method, control C. In this I'm gonna post here, control V. I'm gonna end this first. Now let's see, I have terminated here, right? I am going to do this again and I'll get error. This says this site can't be reached because here the process has been terminated. Yeah. So we have taken a post method here. Generally, when we call the method in the web browser, it only calls get method. We cannot call post method inside the web. So to run those post methods, we have something called Postman. Let us see. So let's run this. Let's see if post will work or not. In the goals I have given clean spring boot colon run. Yeah, I have to save this. So it is running. Yeah, Tomcat started on port 8080. I've got a jar file also. Now I will call this function. So instead of add, I'll just put add post. Yeah, I've got an error because I cannot call add post method even if I have the correct path. So to call this API, we have something called Tomcat. Not Tomcat, it's Postman. Yeah, this is it. So in the Postman, we can call all the APIs. Let it load. So this is how Postman will be. Here we can see all the APIs. We have post, put, patch, delete, head, options, get. We can also test get method here, but we are going to test post method. So this is my name and workspace, and this is the operation I'm going to do. And here we should paste the path that we have pasted in the Chrome. So here I'm going to simply add 1. Let's send. Yeah, I've got 15. This post API has been tested in the Postman. We can change numbers to 25 and number 2 as 10. We can send. These are the parameters. Yeah, I've got 35 here. These are the parameters: number 1 value, number 2 value, and we can check any other API here. We can also check get API. Let's check get API. So we can just change post here and we can send the request. So I've got 35. Yeah, we can change it to another number. We can send. It is 12. So we can change it to post method. Here we have to add slash hyphen post, number 1 equal to 2 and number 2 equal to 10. I'm gonna send and I am getting. I can test both get and post method in Postman. We can not only get and post, we can also call these APIs delete, patch, head, and every other APIs here in the Postman. But when we are doing when we are calling the API in the web browser, we can only call get, but not any other. Yeah. So this is the small Spring based web application. So this is the code, this is demo controller class, and this is calculator program. We can also take another class. Close. We can also take another class and we can code however we want. We can also do some other methods. I'm terminating this. Yeah. This is how a small basic program or application is done in a Spring Boot application. Thank you.